What's up, guys? It's me Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Patrick Teixeira versus Brian Castano, which will be a 12-rounder for the WBO Super-Welterweight World Championship. And this fight is going to be Saturday, February 13th, from the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. And this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN. And again, both fighters. First, the WBO Super-Welterweight World Champion fighting out of Brazil. Patrick Teixeira has a record of 31 wins with 1 defeat and 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 9 by BoxRec, and his one lone defeat comes to Curtis Stevens by second-round knockout. And that fight did happen in 2016, but it's definitely very concerning since Curtis Stevens isn't really a top contender nonetheless. But he came back and won the unanimous decision over Nathaniel Gallimore, who at the time was a top contender in the 154-pound division. And then in his most recent fight, he took on Carlos Adames, winning via unanimous decision, although very close, winning the interim WBO Super-Welterweight World Championship. And after winning that title, he was the mandatory to Jaime Munguia's World WBO title. And since Munguia did move up in weight shortly after, Teixeira was upgraded to WBO World Champion as opposed to staying as interim champion. And I'm fine with that, being that he was the number 1 mandatory and that the champion moved up into another division. And to get into his opponent, Brian Castano, fighting out of Argentina. So there's a feud there between the South American fighters and the countries Argentina and Brazil. And it makes for some very good trash talk, I guess you could say. And Castano has an unbeaten record of 16-0 with 1 draw and 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 4 by BoxRec and has won the interim WBA world title against Emmanuel de Jesus in his home country of Argentina, winning by 6-round knockout. And then he came to France in Michel Soro's home country, winning via split decision in a very, very good fight, defending that interim WBA title. And that's actually a tremendous win over Michel Soro, as Soro is currently ranked number 2 by BoxRec and is a solid fighter, and who, in my opinion, definitely beat Castano in that one. I actually scored a 115-113 in favor of Soro, but it definitely could have gone either way, and it was a tremendous outing. And he took on Cedric V2 after beating Michel Soro, who is also another French fighter who's a veteran of over 48 fights, and he did beat V2 by 12-round knockout, and that fight was for the WBA regular title. And since Castano was the interim champion, he was elevated to regular champion after beating V2. And then after the Cedric V2 fight, he went to defend his WBA regular title in the United States, taking on Erislandy Lara. And as most of you guys know, in the Barclays Center, that fight was a draw, a split decision draw to be specific, as one of the judges scored in favor of Castano, 1 in favor of Lara, and then 1 had it split at a draw. But Castano in that one, I thought he was pressuring Lara good, but Lara, obviously a tremendous boxer, was on the back foot trying to counter Castano. But in my opinion, I thought Castano won that fight. I thought he won at 115-113, although a very, very close and decent fight. But in his most recent fight, he took on Wale Omatoso, winning via knockout in the 5th round. And Omatoso was coming off a win, knocking out Curtis Stevens in 2019. And this fight, in my opinion, is very intriguing, as it's between 2 fighters who have bad blood between their countries, both in the same continent. Both are very talented, and I think it will be a tremendous fight nonetheless. Do I think that Castano is the better fighter, although he's younger and nearly has less than double the fights that Teixeira has? Yeah, I think Castano is the better, more schooled fighter. He's got more power, in my opinion, better ring IQ, although has less than about twice the fights as him. But Castano, I just think he's the whole package in this division. I think he has what you need to beat Jermell Charlo, although right now I have Charlo over him by a unanimous decision. But I definitely think if he wins this one, then takes on, let's say, another opponent. But he'll probably take on Charlo if he wins this fight, because it'll be for the undisputed titles. But in my opinion, he definitely needs some more to build than to take on Jermell Charlo right after beating Patrick Teixeira. But I definitely think Castano will win this fight. I know many boxing and predictors, other articles, other YouTube channels are predicting that Castano will win, and I'm just going to have to go along with them, because I think Castano is a whole foot ahead of Teixeira, because Teixeira does have that loss to Curtis Stevens, and that definitely sets him back so much, and he doesn't have wins over Michel Soro, even a draw versus Erislandy Lara, wins versus Wale Omatoso and Cedric V2. He's just got a better resume, he's got a better amateur pedigree, and he's just a better fighter overall, in my opinion. So I got Castano winning via, I believe, from knockout in rounds 8 through 12. I definitely think Castano will get the knockout here, but I'm not sure which rounds it will be. Even though Teixeira has been knocked out by Curtis Stevens fairly early in the fight, I don't really think Castano will knock him out as early as Stevens did, even within that ballpark of maybe rounds 1 through 5. I definitely think a knockout in round 6 through 12 could happen, but I think Castano will tire out Teixeira as the fight goes on and get the stoppage between rounds 8 and 12, as I was saying before. So my final prediction is that Brian Castano becomes a new WBO Super-Welterweight World Champion, winning via knockout in rounds 8 through 12 to become 17-0, with 13 wins coming with knockout, and to definitely fight for more world titles in the future. And yeah, that's really it. I'm going to be boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.